the actual valuable football information of the John Ross update was much more vital.
Okay, it's starting. And I think we are now live. Yes, we are live. What's going on, fantasy football fans? I am your host, Hussein the Brain, and you're watching The Couch. This video is all about rookies, and we're here with the rookie expert, Scout. What's up, man?
What's up, Fantasy Couch fans? What's up, Brain? I'm glad to be back. Glad to talk some fantasy football rookies.
Is this going to be a Cincinnati Bengals edition video?
Yes,
or...
it is.
It is.
There might be some, just to be fair warned, because, we drafted some players that, might have a fantasy impact. So I'll be talking about some Bengals, fair warning. But I will remain as impartial as I can be. Don't worry, I will draft Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell if they fall to me.
Oh, you will? So you will draft some, but you won't draft Big Ben, though. That's not going to happen.
He'd have to really fall to me. Yeah,
that's like round 14 or whatnot.
Yeah, my backup quarterback. Yeah, I'd take him as a backup.
Okay, so we have. Let me see if I can put this up. Actually, I don't have this up right now. But we have your top 10 PPR rankings, all rookies, and this list that I'm about to try to put up here, if all goes well with the technical aspect, is. We went over this one by one, and it's for both Dynasty and for redraft leagues, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Universal. Both PPR and standard, too. This is just a ranking of overall skill and potential and talent. Basically, my favorite players in this rookie draft class.
Okay, we'll try as I try to put up this list right here. The first one, I don't think they really need it. We'll post it on. We'll post it up after this video online. Oh, we have some people have joined. People have came in.
Pettit. Welcome, people.
Okay, so we got Mason. Scout, say hi to Mason Pettit, longtime fan. He's a hardcore fan.
Mason Pettit, welcome, man. I'm honored to give you some advice for such a long-time fan. Thank you.
And Leather Baseball, I don't recognize him. He could be a trouble. He or she could be a troublemaker. We don't know yet. Okay, welcome everyone.
Here. Equal fantasy advice for all.
Yes.
Leather Baseball, welcome.
Okay,
all sports are welcome here.
We have some people here. I'll be looking at the super chat. We're going to kick it off because right here in the background is none other than Christian McCaffrey. We had a picture of him. Scope, why do you have Christian McCaffrey ranked ahead of Leonard Fournette? What's going on here?
Okay. This kind of comes down to which team do you prefer? As beastly as Leonard Fournette is, and as much as he could ball out, Carolina's offensive line is just a little bit better equipped than Jacksonville's. There's just a bit more continuity with Carolina's offense. Just the threat of Cam Newton running himself, too, could open up doors for McCaffrey in the run game. And McCaffrey can take over that starting job if he starts balling out just as easily as Fournette can. And I know Fournette's got a lot of touches in line, but McCaffrey can he can find himself a home in Carolina in that starting position, most definitely.
I completely agree with this. Now, can you answer me quickly on this one? If it was non-PPR, would they be interchanged, Fournette and McCaffrey?
Honestly, it could go either way. I mean, it's even without the points per reception, the yardage alone that McCaffrey could have as well. Like he could easily be in line for a 100-1,000 season, like 100-yard reception, 1,000-yard rushings, and something tells me that those 100 receptions aren't going to be for little dink and dunk passes. He's going to make some explosive plays in the passing game as well, which is, it's going to increase his value, and it's going to increase his workload, his targets, his touches.
Myself, I would not. I just can't pass up on Fournette when it's early in dynasty drafts, or even we're talking about early picks. We're talking about round 2 and 3 in redraft formats. I'd have to go Fournette if it was standard, but in PPR, I completely agree with you. You go with McCaffrey. This guy's going to get a ton of receptions. He's going to be like a more talented Woodhead. He's going to be like Darren Sproles if the team that had him actually recognized that he was good. You know, like on the Chargers, we saw only a little bit of him. On the Chargers, we only saw a little bit of Mike Turner, was it? That name sounds funny when you say it. It's so long ago. That dude was a first-round pick.
Like the days of Ryan Matthews and Mike Turner, that old Thunder and Lightning. Danny Woodhead was used as a gadget player in San Diego. I feel like Christian McCaffrey could be so much more than that. I am just a hair concerned about his durability, just his frame. He's not the biggest guy, and there are some large people playing in the NFC South. I mean, even on his own team, he's going to be practicing against guys like Kawan Short. I mean, that he's going to take some hits in the NFL, and if he can learn to take those hits and adjust to the NFL speed and size, I think McCaffrey could easily post much better numbers than Fournette this year.
So there you have it, folks. Right now we're doing, by the way, if you just joined in, we're doing a top 10 PPR rookie rankings. This applies to both redraft leagues and dynasty leagues. Scout and I agree. Christian McCaffrey is number 1. Now let's move on to number 2. This one, obvious, we're just talking about him. Leonard Fournette. Talk about him, Scout. And real quick, Broski11111 asks, quick question. Did you get the app Sleeper Bot yet? Scout, did you hear about the app Sleeper Bot?
Are you talking about the app that was the biggest viral marketing? Like, oh, download this sports app. It's going to be the best sports app ever. Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't know. Honestly, I never heard of it. They told me about it yesterday on Instagram Live. I downloaded it. It looks awesome. I turned on notifications. This way I'll know for sure if Gio Bernard is going to play regular season games or not. I definitely got it. Looks like a good app. I'm going to see if it comes through. I like it so far, though. I just got it. Okay.
Then I'll give it a click as well.
I'll download it. We're both going to try it. We're both turning on notifications. Let's go. Leonard Fournette, number 2, Jacksonville Jaguars running back. What do you have to say about him?
Leonard Fournette is definitely the sexy pick. Most everyone's going to be drafting him before Christian McCaffrey, whether it's PPR or not. His highlight reel is hard to ignore. Again, though, a little bit of what I was touching on with Christian McCaffrey, it's that adjustment to NFL speed and size. He was a man playing a boys' game in college football, but there are nothing but men in the NFL, and I think Fournette might have a little bit of a struggle at first. Like there's definitely talent there, but he might come crashing down to earth if he's not careful.
Yeah. Do you think Leonard Fournette, I heard this comparison, is the LeBron James of the NFL? As far as, we haven't seen him yet, but does he have that freakish athlete potential?
Definitely. I would not deny that he's got those physical traits. LeBron James is probably better at catching balls.
Don't get me started on that. I would draft LeBron James as a tight end. Watch out, Delaney Walker. Yeah. Watch out, Jimmy Graham. This guy would be such a good tight end. Definitely watch out, David Njoku, because that's the Cleveland Browns. Oh my God, I would draft this guy early second round. LeBron James, tight end.
Not his first year. I wouldn't his first year.
Oh my God, he's gonna be insane. Yeah. He'll probably play quarterback too, quarterback and tight end for the Browns.
Like he is going to transfer to the NFL. I don't think he's leaving the NBA anytime soon.
No,
or not ever.
Yeah. No, he's going to get less money and then get injured. No, it's not. It's not happening. Are we moving on to number 3? You want to talk more about Fournette?
Or we could talk more about LeBron James and how they lost.
No, different. No. We're on something different. This is a different topic.
Yeah.
Real quick though, with Leonard Fournette, I think. When we did our first video, Scott, you said okay, there were some red flags with the combine. People left a lot of comments about that. We just want to make it clear we both do like Leonard Fournette. Now, some knocks on this is that TJ Yeldon is still there, and I didn't like TJ Yeldon last year, but he had some decent stats. He had a lot of targets. I don't know the exact amount, maybe 60 targets, whatever it was. And
I liked Yeldon last year enough to draft him in our couch league, and I had higher hopes than I really should have. He's got the ability. It's just, again, that offensive line, that offense in general was just stagnant so much last year. I'm worried it's going to regress. I'm worried Blake is going to regress. Like, they're hoping he's going to have a better year, but he just took a step backwards last year. Just so many poor mistakes throwing the football. I'm worried they're just going to be behind more, and they're not going to be able to run the ball. Fournette's not going to get these gigantic heavy workloads that he should. And also, Fournette's not the best at a shotgun, and I mean, they have to kind of retool their playbook around Leonard Fournette. It's just not as clean of an entry that McCaffrey into Carolina is. I mean, it's probably going to work. It's going to work some weeks. Other weeks, it's probably not going to work. I just think that McCaffrey's the better fit into his respective team.
My point was TJ Yeldon's still there, and even a great running back like Ezekiel Elliott last year, he even sat out on some passing plays. They had Lance Dunbar there, right? So that's my point. So if we're doing PPR, it's a huge difference. You have Fournette and McCaffrey. Couldn't it be two more different running backs in real football and in fantasy? So there's always a knock on that. Like, if I'm the Jaguars and things aren't going well, there's no need to give Fournette 30 carries or 30 touches. It's not, you like, put in TJ Yeldon, put in that Chris Ivory guy. I mean, he's not, his career, I don't think anything's going to happen with that. I mean, give him a few touches.
Yeah.
Keep Fournette fresh to when you're going to win next year. Not that the Jags can't win this year, but there's a realistic chance that they won't win this year.
Even from a dynasty perspective, I mean, they just drafted this guy who they hope to be a future franchise star, and if there are going to be games where it looks like he's not going to be able to, dig them out of whatever hole they're in, then they'll probably shut him down, and that could result in some goose egg fantasy days, and could.
Okay, we have Jason Dalton. Just joined the chat. You got to say hi to him. That's a fellow Dalton right there.
Right. I like your last name, Jason Dalton.
He says, hey, and Mason Pettit I think he might be starting to troll. He says the Warriors blew a sweep. Honestly, I feel the same way because I really wanted a 16-0 playoff sweep, but
it doesn't matter though. I mean, they got the
I wanted it so bad. I wanted to not only kill the opponent, I wanted to crush their souls. I wanted it bad, but it's okay. Right now, Scott, in the background, I got Joe Mixon's fade right now. So we went Christian McCaffrey number 1, Leonard Fournette number 2, Joe Mixon number 3. What do you have to say about this talented running back?
I'm not going to lie. The more I watch, the more I read up on how he's adapting to Cincinnati's system, the more I like him. Like, in these rankings, I was really tempted to put him above Leonard Fournette just because of he could be seeing a similar workload to Fournette, and Joe Mixon is arguably the best receiver in the entire draft class, like above Christian McCaffrey, above lots of these receivers. He's made some insane catches, and from a PPR standpoint alone, like, easy sleeper. I mean, it's not even a sleeper at this point. He's up there, and I don't want to overrate him, and I don't want to overhype him or be biased with my Cincinnati black and orange, but this man he's an electrifying player. He really is. Just watching him in and out of his cuts, his vision.
Would you draft him in the 5th round in a redraft league if we had to draft right now?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay. His ADP,
he's not getting out of the 5th in me for any leagues. Like, that's
Joe Mixon's ADP right now. Surprisingly, guys, in a 12-man standard league, is early in the 5th round. Matter of fact, the first pick of the 5th round is tied as far as ADP goes with Andrew Luck and Joe Mixon. Me, I like him in round 6, but this guy's really talented. Scope, would you say you'd give him more value in a dynasty, or would you give him more value in a redraft? Like what jumps out for you more? I love this guy in dynasty, or I love this guy in redraft, or is it about the same? Like, you like him the same in both?
Those character question marks that are always going to be there until he makes everyone forget with statistics are going to be a little bit of a concern for dynasty leagues, because I mean, if God forbid something terrible happens, like he gets into some kind
any
of trouble.
any kind of trouble with teammates, trouble off the field. That's
it could
not even the
basically ruin
big
his
deal.
career.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna have a short leash. Well, that risk comes with both dynasty and rookie, I think. But we both like him. We think he has the potential to be a great running back. And as Scott was saying, this could be the best running back talent-wise in this draft, which is saying a lot because this is the most stacked, deepest running back draft class we've seen. I can't even remember the last time we've seen a running back draft this stacked. Real quick, Scott, going through the chats right here. Jim says, Jim, I agree with you, bud. Don't think either one will be a Zeke-like rookie. No, they won't. Like Christian McCaffrey and Fournette, they won't. Like that's that. He got Zeke, talented running back, drafted super early, almost went dang near number 1 overall. He's the 4th overall pick. He went to Dallas Cowboys. They had also
offensive line,
best offensive line in football, and at the same time, on top of that, as a bonus. As a brownie point, extra credit, you had Romo get hurt, and they had to protect Dak Prescott a little bit, especially the first game or two. The first game, they're like, "Dude, don't throw the ball. You're a rookie." So it was like, it was crazy. And Zeke was also just running. He didn't have patience that first game. We saw the patience kick in week 2 a little bit. Then week 3 and 4, we saw he was a great running back. But that first game, he didn't even have any patience. He just running into the wall before the blocks even opened up. So that's what Jim says. Yeah, I mean, bro, it's obvious. I mean, Zeke's rookie year, he almost broke the record.
Dickerson.
Dickerson's record. Like, it's not. Yeah, I mean, the chance it'll happen, it's astronomical.
See, it's funny that you should use Ezekiel Elliott as a comparison because there were some scouts saying that Joe Mixon is a better Ezekiel Elliott that can catch the football, and I mean. Again, this man was drafted in the 2nd round. Fournette was taken 4th overall, just like Elliott last year. I feel like if these character concerns were not there, this man could have been in the talk for 4th overall.
Now, I'm gonna stop you there a little bit. Like, I get what you're saying, but it sounds a little bit of the Homer talk. Okay, what you're saying is 100% right. Wait, what you're saying is 100% right, but you have to factor in. You're wearing the Bengals jersey. I just got to make this clear. I got to translate for the guys. We'll make this clear. Way more risk. And way worse offensive line at this point, from what we know. Bengals offensive line, I can't even compare it to the Cowboys O-line. But now that we got that out the way, yes, Joe Mixon could be more talented than Ezekiel Elliott. Like it's a possibility. And then what do we have here? Will World just joined. What's up, everybody? I'm ready for football now. LOL. Dude, we're all stoked.
Man.
We are all stoked.
Counting the days.
I just hope he isn't Lawrence Phillips 2.0, talking about Joe Mixon. Lawrence Phillips comparison here. We're going there.
I mean, you could say the same thing with Tyreek Hill, though, and now no one's talking about Tyreek Hill's off-the-field issues.
But there was that risk. There was that risk before the season, and now it's before the season, so you got that risk. Yeah, Tyreek Hill seems to got his life on track, at least for now. Okay, next up. Yeah. So we got, real quick sum up. Top 10 PPR rookies for both Dynasty and Redraft leagues. We had Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette, Joe Mixon, and now number 4, you got Dalvin Cook. I don't like this name. I actually liked him a lot before the draft. Now I don't know. Number 4, Dalvin Cook. What's up with this ranking, Scott? Why do you have him number 4? A little high for my taste.
In all honesty, it's a little bit high for mine too, but I cannot deny that home run potential. He's a playmaker, a naturally gifted athlete,
and can catch.
But and can catch the football. Not as well as some of the others in this draft class, but better than Fournette. Again, the mild character concerns. If anything, the character concerns for Dalvin Cook are a bit more eyebrow raising than the character concerns for Joe Mixon, only in the sense that Dalvin Cook fell a lot further in the draft than anyone thought. Joe Mixon was rumored to maybe even be taken in the bottom of the 1st, and that was kind of a bold prediction. For anyone to say that Dalvin Cook were to fall into the 2nd would have been an outrageous prediction. So the fact that he did,
yeah, I mean it's just a huge concern for me, and I just feel like it would be way too easy for
him to, just say the wrong thing in the locker room, come off the wrong way, and he could find himself third on that depth chart and struggling for carries behind
let's not
McKinnon
avoid that
Murray.
the offensive line isn't that great for the Vikings. So I think Dalvin Cook, I think he's absolute trash in a redraft league. I say this is a rookie bust here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In a dynasty league, he could be worth it. That Vikings team has to improve. I mean, what do we have with the Vikings team?
They were last in the league in rushing last year.
Everybody loves Stephon Diggs, but do you like Sam Bradford / Teddy Bridgewater?
Teddy
Do you like the offensive line? Do you like anything about this team?
Is Bridgewater even ever going to actually play again? Because that is actually still a legitimate question.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. So it's like, I say dynasty, okay, take him, bench him, whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
In redraft, I don't like him. Okay, so Scott, you ranked him number 4. His expert consensus is number 5.
Potential.
I would have him like he'd number 7 or 8 for me. I mean, he wouldn't. I don't like this guy. That's the first disagreement. We like the top 3 we agree on. This is the first disagreement right here. Number 4. Dalvin Cook. Moving along. Before we do, let's look at the chat. It's starting to get just a little bit heated here. Mixon has to compete with Bernard and Hill. I'll go ahead and take this one, Scope. No, he doesn't. Jeremy Hill is done, and Gio Bernard is good, but not great. He's okay, and he's already hurt. So we'll see. It could already be done deal before the season starts. Game 1, this could be over with. So yes, I mean technically those 2 guys are on the depth chart, but Scott and I, we're going. You draft for potential, right? In DFS, you draft for that day. Okay, so that day, Mixon, maybe not if he's not the starter. But for a season-long league, 16 games, 17 weeks, or for Dynasty, you got to draft the most talented, one of the most talented running backs in this draft. And he asked, can he run in between the tackles? I already typed in, yes, he can run. Mixon can run between the tackles. Mixon doesn't look too big to me.
That's 6'1", 220 something, I believe.
That sounds
big.
A big
That's
man.
big. Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, he is.
He's big. Not huge, but big.
With the moves of Gio Bernard. So, yeah, you said it right. There is no competition
Look
there,
at that. Look at that. That's some Cincinnati analysis for you. Just as big as Jeremy Hill with the quickness of Gio Bernard. You can't argue with that. Gosh, you can't argue with this Bengals talk you're doing.
That's why they drafted him, really.
Yeah. Hey, he can play special teams.
Yeah. Mixon does return punts too.
Okay, so he'll be on the roster.
I don't think they'll have him returning punts.
He can return. He can return too. I forgot about it. Yeah, dang, he can. Yeah. Wow.
Shame on you, brain. Yeah.
Wow, that's some good. I was thinking like McCaffrey. I was so infatuated with McCaffrey returning.
Yeah.
I forgot Mixon can return too. That's value when you're making a roster. Yeah.
I still don't think they're going to use him too much in return league. Like maybe 1 or 2 a game, maybe. But they've got a man, Alex Erickson, who showed lots of potential in the return game last year, and Tyler Boyd is also proficient in the return game. So they've got some guys that I think they would rather trust on special teams their first year. Next year, I wouldn't be surprised if they give Mixon a little bit more trust there. Assuming Mixon proves himself.
Mason Pitt says, trust me, I am a Vikings fan. The O-line is pretty garbage. Yes. Bradford is decent, but with no O-line, he always on the run. You say Bradford's decent, he's actually below average, okay? Because there's 20 good quarterbacks in this league.
He's no Jamarcus Russell. We'll say that.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, there's 20 good quarterbacks in this league at least, and I don't think Bradford. I'd consider him top 20. So that means that's not that good, right? So I mean, he's not horrible, but not that good. And with the bad O line, I mean, we saw even Cam Newton kind of sucked with the bad O line, and he's really good. What else we got? And then we'll move on to the next guy. With a deep RB class, are we going zero? Are we going RB0 strategy? Then I'm making a video about this, and we're not going to do any type of 0 RB or 0 wide receiver. We're not scared of these strategies, but we never go in with some predetermined garbage. We go in and draft the most scarcest player at that position, draft the best players available. That's what we do. And I'm not afraid to go 0 RB. I'm not afraid to go 0 wide receiver, but the draft flow is what's going to tell me what to do.
You gotta improvise and learn to kind of roll with the punches.
Exactly. You go with the flow. So I might go 0 RB. The thing is it won't work this year, guys. This is why. Because wide receiver is very stacked, which means how I interpret it, two things. One, you need an elite wide receiver, but it also means that you can wait a long time to get great wide receivers like Deshaun Jackson's going super late, Cameron Meredith's going super late, Willie Snead's going super late, Mike Williams is going super late, guy we're about to talk about. All these guys are going super late, so you can get your number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 wide receivers super late. Yes, you do need an elite wide receiver, but you don't need to go wide receiver, like your first 5 picks, you don't need to draft 3 wide receivers because that's what it's 0 RB. You're going to draft 3 receivers in your first 5 picks. At least that's a minimum.
Yeah.
So
don't draft your backup receiver round 3.
Yeah, you don't need it. The wide receiver class is the quarterback and wide receiver class, hands down, by far is the deepest we've ever seen in fantasy football this year. So I'm not going 0 RB strategy. At the same time, I'm not afraid to do that if the draft tells me to. Like if I'm gonna get like.
If all the elite running backs go off the board in the first 2 rounds,
something crazy like that happens, yeah, I might do it. Well, Scots didn't agree with me, but when it comes down to it, don't have a predetermined strategy. Don't be like, I'm drafting Aaron Rodgers or I'm going 0 RB. Don't do that. You'll get hit with the haymaker right when you hop on. Because I've done 1,000 mock drafts and it still didn't prepare me for what happened in fantasy couch league. Like Tom Brady, I'd never drafted him in 1,000 mock drafts 2 years ago, and he was available in round 8. I got him, and he played all 16 games. Like round 8, Tom Brady, second best quarterback that year. I went with him. One more comment, then we're gonna go on to number 5. What about Mike Williams with the charge? Oh, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that, guys. Okay, real quick. Christian McCaffrey, number 1. Number 2, Leonard Fournette. Number 3, Joe Mixon. Number 4, Dalvin Cook, which I don't like. Our first disagreement. And number 5, we have this guy, John Ross. Start getting excited, Scout. Another Bengal on the list.
I promise you guys I was partial with this. I trying my best to be unbiased. I look at the numbers. I look at the situations. I look at the players, the teams. John Ross is in the best situation of these rookie wide receivers to produce big fantasy numbers, and soon. As talented as Corey Davis and Mike Williams are, they're going into their offenses. I mean, you could argue Mike Williams is the wide receiver 2 to Keenan Allen, but we don't know Keenan Allen's health. We don't know the state of his. We don't know the state of his health. How explosive he's going to be. If he's going to still have that same quickness. Mike Williams could easily be the wide receiver 1 there. Same with Corey Davis. They're going to have a lot of attention. Meanwhile, John Ross gets to play next to a man by the name of A.J. Green. And A.J. Green demands double coverage almost every single time he is on the field. I mean, really, every single time he's on the field, he should be double covered. I mean, unless your name's Josh Norman.
Look, man, you sound like a madman. You sound like a man. This is how Corey Davis, expert consensus, says he's number 2. Okay? I mean, I would put him about number 4, okay, because that's how I like Joe Mixon a lot too, and that's it's hard to find that workhorse running back, even though he's not a workhorse this second.
He could be.
Not in June right now, but he man, as soon as game 1 or game 2, he could be a workhorse. Yeah, we'll see. So I like that, but I cannot put Corey Davis beyond number 4. I mean, how do you even do, bro? This is also dynasty. Marcus Mariota is extremely talented. Delaney Walker, he's in his prime, or in my opinion, slightly past his prime. Delaney Walker's still going to be great this year, but Corey Davis is looking like the number 1 receiver. How do you not rank Corey Davis ahead of John Ross? John Ross, I get what you're saying, but what about year 2, year 3, and what about the injury risk? You got Corey Davis, potentially could be one of those 10-year stars in Titans. Him and Mariota could be that combination.
Corey Davis also has his own injury concerns. He didn't go to the combine or have a pro day because of his own surgery. I mean, I mean, there are also mild questions with his hands. He kind of had a lot of drop passes. Again, I just feel like the situation and John Ross is a much more polished route runner than everyone gives him credit for. People just think he's just a speed guy. He actually really has great soft hands and can run pretty much every route tree that the Bengals are going to throw at him.
Okay, so in Dynasty as well, you would You
Mm-hmm.
still like John
Mm-hmm.
Ross. John Ross.
Just because there's already a surrounding cast there. I mean, I'll give to Tennessee. They've got a great O-line, a young budding quarterback. But again, even their quarterback has some injury question marks. Like, whew, a broken bone is not the easiest thing to recover from. I mean, Marcus Mariota might not be playing at the same level that he was playing last year, and if that's the case, Corey Davis could find himself not even fantasy relevant, dare I say.
You're making me angry. Can we move? We already talked about. Okay, Corey Davis, number 6. Can we move on to number 7, or do we talk about Corey Davis enough?
We can talk about him a little bit more if you
Let's
want.
go. Let's go. If you got something to say,
Yeah?
let's go. Okay, what do you? Okay, so we
All
got
right.
John Ross number 5 and Corey Davis number 6.
I would dare say that John Ross is the better route runner of the two as well. Corey Davis knows the routes; he's talented, but there's just a little bit lack of burst in his cuts and in his like when he breaks off his routes. There's just a little bit left to be desired, and that's where John Ross actually excels. That man just and he's just down the field.
What about after the catch? John Ross is better after the catch, right? Because of that speed.
Yes, same. Take a slant and just find that alley. And I want to say it was against Nebraska. I'm not even going to try to remember what college it was against, but one of his highlight reel catches has him just perfectly cutting through the middle of the field and winding his way out and running to the end zone, just running past everybody. And not going to lie, as a Bengal fan, I'm excited, but I promise you, this is unbiased ranking here. It just the situation he's in just compels me to put him above these other receivers.
Okay, Corey Davis. Tell me when to move on. Because we just
Now
went back
we
to
can
John
move on, I
Ross
guess.
somehow
Yeah.
super fast.
Guilty as charged. I realize that.
We
yes.
went back to let's just go. I'm getting angry. I got no argument for you. I mean, because I was about to say, and I was like, should I say like John Ross is taking a screen pass too? I want to see him take a screen pass. So, I mean, that's pretty exciting
me
too.
too.
Oops,
Yeah.
I'm making some technical difficulties. Okay, I think we're back. We're back.
See, look, you went John Ross. We can't help it.
I went back to that was me. I went back to
speed.
John Ross.
Yes,
All
dare
right.
I say seductive speed. No. But all right, Mike Williams. This man deserves some attention himself. He is in somewhat of a better situation than Corey Davis. I only say somewhat because of the questionable status of just Keenan Allen and if what he's going to play like. If Keenan Allen comes back to being Keenan Allen, then I would probably even rank Mike Williams ahead of Corey Davis. Just again from opportunity and team scheme. Mike Williams fits Phillip Rivers' play style. It's just that kind of gunslinging, like, hey, get open, find a way, and I will find a way to squeeze the ball into some kind of window for you. Phillip Rivers kind of has that magic sometimes, and Mike Williams is that perfect big body receiver to just benefit from that. And,
I am high on Mike Williams.
yeah.
I think the obvious is there. Rivers, great fit, great pick for the Chargers. But even more obvious, that should be talked about more, is he's going to get touchdowns, and that's what we love in fantasy
red zone targets.
football. He's going to get those looks. Yeah, red zone targets equals touchdowns. He's going to get a lot of touchdowns. I got a good feeling about this combination. This combination could last a few years, and I think Phillip Rivers is going to love throwing to Mike Williams. I think this is great. And he's not going to get a lot of, too much heat. He's going to get noticed on the defense. But you got Hunter Henry, you got Antonio Gates, Ty Williams, Keenan
Gates
Allen, who might last
threat.
more than a game. So there's a lot of options there. And I think Mike Williams is just going to be that receiver. The ceiling, Dez Bryant. Okay. Real quick recap, guys. We have our top 10 PPR for redraft and dynasty rookies. Number 1, Christian McCaffrey. Number 2, Fournette. Number 3, Mixon. Number 4, Dalvin Cook. Number 5, the speedy John Ross. Number 6, Corey Davis. Number 7, Mike Williams. And number 8, the tight end, O.J. Howard.
This man. Okay, I've said it before. This was one of the deepest tight end draft classes in a long time, and very rarely does a tight end come out of college so polished in almost every single aspect. O.J. Howard could easily take the starting position from Cameron Brate. I know Brate had a lot of success last year, but he is not the athlete or even the run blocker that O.J. Howard is. O.J. Howard is, I mean, hey, O.J. Howard reminds me a little bit of Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez is pretty much the greatest tight end to ever play this game. And he's not as big as Gonzalez, obviously. I believe Gonzalez was like 6'4". I want to say O.J. Howard's like 6'2".
I like
Yeah.
O.J. Howard. I like O.J. Howard in dynasty leagues. I have no opinion on him in redraft. It's so risky because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how much they're going to use him in the pass game, because if they don't use him in the pass game, you're not getting fantasy points. Cameron Brate is there. Actually, I already consider O.J. Howard the starter. Like, I'm already giving him the quote-unquote starter. But I also think he's going to be splitting time with them, or maybe a little bit of two tight end sets. Like, I don't see why you wouldn't use two tight end, at least every now and then, maybe at least in the red zone, goal line. So I don't know about redraft.
Pass blocking. I mean, it's so hard to predict rookie tight end success because rookie tight ends hardly ever have any success. But I feel like this is the one year that could be that exception. And I just want to stress that O.J. Howard is not your typical rookie tight end. He is definitely a man worth drafting. Definitely not high. Dynasty leagues, most definitely. This man could turn out to be one of the better tight ends.
And he has Winston there. I like that. It's in Dynasty. We're talking about there's a big difference in Dynasty and redraft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, next we have number 9, Evan Engram. A little bit surprised here, Scope, because there's David Njoku. Why do you have Evan Engram? I mean, there was a lot of other options you could have put here, and I feel like you put number 9 Evan Engram really high. Eli Manning, how old is he? 34? Something like that. Whatever
age mouth breathing is required at.
I'm just mean dynasty wise. I just mean Eli Manning may not play more than 5 more years, whatever it is. So that's all I meant. Like right now, he's not too old. True. I know that. I'm just talking about dynasty in the future is all. So why do you have Evan Engram so high?
A little bit for the same reason of O.J. Howard. Except for not being the most polished tight end, but just the overall athletic ability. This man is most definitely a wide receiver playing tight end. He's going to create so many mismatches. I feel like this is another one of those cases where he could be the exception to that rookie tight ends don't produce, because I feel like the Giants plan to use him a lot, especially with Brandon Marshall and Odell Beckham Jr. dominating so much of the coverage. Evan Engram could be one of those, waiver wire targets of the year if he goes undrafted. One of those random rookies that carries the team to the playoffs, to your prospective fantasy Super Bowls. I'm really high on Evan Engram. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on him, that's for sure. And he just has the potential to catch. I wouldn't be surprised if he has 10 touchdowns this year. No lie.
Yeah, they're gonna use him because they drafted him in the first round, but pretty risky there. Reading a couple comments here, we want to welcome Unicorn Power. Unicorn Power says hi, hello, and let's see what else comments we have. They both have good QBs throwing to them. I think we're talking about Ross. The difference maker between Ross and Williams would be their quarterback consistency. Is that implying? That's probably implying that Dalton sucks, right? That's what you get a lot. You probably hear that a lot, Skill. Or Dalton's not good.
Yeah,
I think that's
which is funny because he actually has the best passer rating in the NFL for deep throws, better than Matt Ryan. So I mean that was actually the longest stick on him for a long time. He has no deep ball. Well, last year he had the highest passer rating in the NFL on go routes, posts, and Verticals.
Bro,
Yeah.
guess who's here? This guy again.
Oh,
This guy again. More exercise, less football watching. Bro, all I gotta say is taco. That's all I gotta say. We're gonna watch Taco Charlton, and we're gonna be eating tacos. If you don't like
oh
it,
man.
this guy's back. He's back again. He's really. I mean, I think he's a hardcore fan though. He just doesn't know. He doesn't know what to say. Dalton can be streaky. Well, let's see. If AJ Green and Eifert stay healthy, Dalton's a QB1. Dalton's gonna be gone.
Especially if Ross balls out too, that could make Dalton the same one of those great value backup quarterback drafted turns into your starter. If Cam Newton doesn't play up to par, you might find yourself starting Dalton over Cam. I'm not saying Cam's gonna play par, just saying, that happens.
You got carried. I don't like Cam Newton much either. I got in trouble for hating on Cam Newton as well. So, but I like Cam Newton more.
We'd like to hope he has a bounce back year, just because we like to wish well upon everyone here at the couch, but
not me. I don't care. I care about my fantasy team. I don't wish harm on him. I don't wish anybody bad, but I want to win. I don't care about nothing. That's my team.
Same,
yeah, my belt, my team. And I'm the commissioner of the fantasy couch league. It's embarrassing when I lose.
For that belt. That's my belt.
Did you make
get
playoffs?
It warm for me.
You were in the league 2 years. Did you make? I know you didn't make playoffs this year.
Really, first year. No,
you made playoffs. You had a really good team. You had Eifert.
I'm pretty sure I even made it to the whatever the
top four.
NFC.
Top four.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I made it to top four. But last year, I actually, it was so terrible. It was like 2-8 at one point, but I almost found my way back into the playoffs thanks to Tyreek Hill and Jay Ajayi. Yeah.
Truth will bring freedom says I would win the fantasy couch league, no doubt. Man, you definitely would, bro. We would all come in last place, and you would come in first place. You'd win it. You'd win all three of the belts I have. I mean, you would win. You ain't in it though. We'd never know. But you would definitely win it, whoever you are.
You would make us all draft kickers in the first round.
We want to say hi to Mara, Nate, the backstop pace. We want to say what's up. I have a question. I don't know if it's a good one. Then we'll move on. Scout, I'll leave this up to you since I don't know. Who is the best Browns player to pick up or I guess draft?
To draft?
Crowell, obvious, right?
I mean,
just answer the question. Technically, it has to be Crowell. You draft Crowell the highest. I mean, who's next highest when you draft?
No one.
No,
I'm just saying, don't draft a Brown.
Duke Johnson?
Crowell. It really is between Duke and Crowell, and Crowell's going to get the lion's share of the carries and probably the goal line carries. So, if you find yourself in a situation where you are required to draft,
bro, Terrell Pryor. This dude's talking about Terrell Pryor's not on the Browns anymore.
Redskins.
Get out of here, bro. We don't say that name live, Scott. We say Washington.
Yeah,
we
true.
Don't say that
the
name
Washington
here.
Football Club.
Washington. Yeah, if you want to go long-winded. Yeah, we don't say that. Terrell's gone, but I don't think you're gonna. You know what? You're not gonna win the couch league if you're talking about Terrell Pryor is a Brown. Yeah, you know what? It's over. You're coming in 13th place, bro, and there's only 12 teams. It's all. You're done. You're done. You're out of here. You're not winning. No belt for you. You know what? We have these fantasy football loser tattoos. You get 2 of those. 2 on that.
One's a unicorn.
Yeah, one's a yeah. You get 1 on the bicep, 1 on the tricep. That's it.
RG3. You have to get a unicorn tramp stamp.
Yeah. Okay. What are we? Moving on from.
Let's go back to the rankings.
Moving on from. We want to go number 10. Done with Engram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 10. Okay. So let's go through a quick recap, guys. So this is Scout's top 10 PPR rankings for rookies only. This applies to both redraft and for dynasty. At number 1, we have Christian McCaffrey. Number 2, Leonard Fournette. Number 3, Joe Mixon. You know what? We should have went 10-1. That's a good show. Go 10, 9, 8. Why do we do this? This is silly. Or maybe.
No, because No, because then
Whatever.
we get to explain why, and compare to why other people are ranked higher than them. I actually like doing it like this just
Like the
because.
more normal, more the
Yeah,
other way is a little bit crazier. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Number one, we had McCaffrey. Number two, Fournette. Number three, Mixon. Number four, Dalvin Cook. Number five, John Ross. Six, Corey Davis. Seven, Mike Williams. Eight, OJ Howard. Nine, Evan Engram. And number 10, which is a shock and another disagreement from me, huge disagreement, is Curtis Samuel. I'm a huge fan of this guy. Scott told me about him. I like him. But number 10, when the expert consensus ranks him number 20, explain yourself.
YouTube his tape, and that is all the explanation you need. Carolina doubled up on explosive offensive playmakers this year in the draft. I was really high on Curtis Samuel. I would not have been surprised if he was taken in the first round. I thought maybe Green Bay would have taken him if you watched our mock draft video. I just feel like he's that Percy Harvin the league has been looking for a while. Randall Cobb kind of dabbled in that running back receiver. Ty Montgomery is. I don't even want to dare try to compare him to Percy Harvin because they're so just totally different players. That's just doesn't do Percy Harvin justice. Watching Curtis Samuel play, oh man, you're gonna have goosebumps. Like I can't imagine.
These are the three. These are the three factors when you rank this. I think this is really it. 1, talent. 2, opportunity. 3, supporting cast. If he's a wide receiver, you look at the O-line and the quarterback, the coaching, blah, blah, blah. Do they like to pass around? But, I mean, number 1, we have to put talent. So you're saying the talent is there, but is the opportunity there?
I feel like there's going to be enough opportunity. With that dual threat kind of running back wide receiver combination, I know Christian McCaffrey is that similar kind of player, and
Oop, you cut off. I don't know if they can hear you. Oh, this is going. What is going? I cannot hear you. Oh, God. I don't think anybody can hear you. We're having some technical difficulties. Is your mic on? Hey. Well, nobody can hear. I don't think we can hear Scout. I'm texting him right now. We'll try to get this settled. Scout, can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me? Nope, he can't hear me. All right. We I guess I'll be taking over. Dang, man, this guy's taught like what it look. He looks so excited about this guy. I'll tell you something, man. Can you guys hear Scout? I don't think we can, right? We can't hear Scout, can we? Well, this is not good. No, I can't. Hold on, trying to get him back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, we'll try to get Scope back on. All right, guys, that was awesome. I'm gonna try to hit Scout back up right now. Give me a second. We're gonna try to get him back on. Just a second. Let me try to hit him up right now. Okay, I'm gonna call him so at least we can hear him. I'm putting him on speaker, guys. Hello. Okay, I got you on speakerphone. I'm putting you next to the microphone, and I'm gonna call you right back. Yeah, so they can probably faintly hear you. So I'm going to invite you again. Okay.
I'm sure my headset died. I have it plugged in now. It should be okay.
Oh, that's what happened. Oh, cool, bro. That was cool. Cool. Very cool.
It's probably good that it cut me off. I feel like I was rambling.
Oh, bro, you looked hilarious. I was like, okay, this guy looks really into Samuel Curtis right now. I don't know what he's saying, but he's really excited about him.
Oh man, that's good. That's rich.
Okay, and hopefully hopefully I got the right
I'm
link.
giving world-class fantasy football advice, and no one was around to hear it.
All right, we're still live. You know that, right? You know they can hear you. Okay, so I just emailed you. Hopefully you can hop back on that as soon as you get the email. Okay, yeah, we know. I mean, he's the line's dead now. So Scout, I don't know if you can hear the. I got my phone on here, but Scout's battery died on his headset, so we're gonna try to connect back with him. We should be getting him back on. I'll go through the chat right now and the top 10 that we just did while we're waiting for Scout. Did you get that email, Scout?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I hear you. Oh, is that
back.
you?
We are now wired.
Oh man, you're on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, everyone. I know you missed me. Yeah, Curtis Samuel is really good. I trust that he's going to have a nice, lucrative career in Carolina.
Cool. All right, let's go through the super chat. Wow, I can't believe we got you back on that fast. Not that. I mean, for our first broadcast live, if that's the only technical difficulty, I'll definitely take it. It could be a lot worse. Okay,
Yeah.
so
a nice little live blooper for everyone.
So
you're welcome, Fantasy Couch fans.
Somebody said Kessler. Okay, which division is the best to watch? I think right now that Raiders division is a huge come up. AFC West, I think, is the toughest division. You got the Raiders, the Chargers, the Broncos, the Chiefs. Let's go pick one other than the one your Bengals are in.
NFC South. I'm not gonna lie. Super Bowl losers, up and coming Bucks. Panthers could bounce back just as hard. The Saints can't underestimate Drew Brees pretty much ever, and now they have Adrian Peterson.
To
me,
what's up, Joaquin or Joaquin? This guy said, let him keep talking. He's like, I'm laughing my ass off. Bro, you were like, I was like, so what do you think about Samuel Jackson? You were like. I was like, dang, man, is he put it, for a second, I thought you knew that you were muted and you were just doing and I was like, no, this dude's for real. I was like, oh, shoot. I was like, oh my God. He must, Mason Pettit, he must really like this. Yeah, expert consensus number 20, and then this guy he ranked him number 10, so yeah, definitely. What about the Panthers O-line? They don't have left tackle right now, do they? No, they suck. Yeah, their O-line sucks. The blind side was there. Oh gosh, it was horrible last year. Horrible. Yeah. One of the worst O-lines last year. Now, you know when they did stuff to improve it. Everybody did stuff to improve it. I mean, everybody does that. The Jaguars, they did something to improve it. They drafted this. The Browns did something to improve. Everybody did something to improve it. That's the problem. Everyone's quote unquote improving or thinking they're improving. So yeah, that's going to be tough. But that's why they drafted these two guys so early, because they're changing up their entire offensive philosophy. They're going to be doing quick passes. This is what happened. Cam Newton got the ball. He says, oh, crap. Should I take off?
What
No, I already
happens
took off 20 times this game. Let me wait for
Yeah.
Greg Olsen to get open 20 to 40 yards down the field.
Oh.
Let me wait for Kelvin Benjamin to stay covered the whole time. You know what? I'll just throw to Ted. I remember Ted Ginn's on my team. Let me throw a 60-yard pass to him. They didn't. That's all they had. They had nothing. So now, other than Greg Olsen, now they have some targets to throw quick passes to Christian McCaffrey, Curtis Samuel. They can hit these guys, less than 10-yard passes, and they can do a lot after the catch. And in PPR, that's who we like. So I agree with Squo as far as the talent. I don't agree with them as far as the opportunity. I don't see him as a top 15.
I feel like the troubles of the Carolina Panthers offensive line almost mirror the troubles with Cincinnati's offensive line. There's talent there. Cincinnati lost their Pro Bowl offensive lineman this year, and it was last year when we had those linemen that we had a really terrible year. I mean, our Pro Bowl players were revolving doors. And sometimes that's not the line's fault. The lack of a run game can just stifle pass protection just so fiercely. And I feel like with the additions of Christian McCaffrey and Curtis Samuel, it's not going to be so easy to just rush the passer all the time and not worry about the run. Those are threats that are going to make the quarterback's job a lot easier. The best friend to a pass game is the run game, and that's why I'm not afraid to rank Joe Mixon as high as I am with the question marks that Cincinnati has, because invigorating a run game can make an offensive line better. Average players can become above average just with the right motivation and momentum. And I feel like Carolina has enough talent on that offensive line to produce at a high level. I really do.
Okay,
Michael Orr actually played a lot better than he could have.
And let me show you why I think it was a little too high for Curtis Samuel. Kareem Hunt, what's up with that? I think he should go before Curtis Samuel.
I don't think Kareem Hunt's going to see as much playing time. I mean, he could see significant playing time, but I don't think to the level that Curtis Samuel could.
What about dynasty? Dynasty,
dynasty
more dynasty. I'm talking about, because obviously the first year we have no idea, but I'm thinking dynasty. I think Kareem Hunt. I'd draft Kareem Hunt over Curtis Samuel for sure.
I mean, even from a dynasty's perspective, the Chiefs really like Spencer Ware, and Spencer Ware could be around for a while. I mean, Kareem Hunt could take over the job, but I mean, there's just a few more question marks there. I feel like it's just not as safe of a call as Curtis Samuel. I mean, the playmaking ability is there as well. Kareem Hunt is a solid runner. He's talented, but he's not the electrifying runner that Curtis Samuel is.
We have a question. What's up? Michael just joined. He says Alvin Kamara. So I guess that's kind of what I'm going through right here. Curtis Samuel, Kareem Hunt. What about Alvin Kamara? About where is he in your rankings? We haven't finalized the rankings yet, but you've been doing your rankings. So where does he compare with Samuel and Hunt?
I'm pretty sure I actually have Kamara at 21 ranked overall. I want to say right behind Kareem Hunt.
Wow, that's freaking low.
It's just because there's a lot of talented players ahead of him, but also that situation. Kamara is not going to see a lot of playing time behind both Mark Ingram and Adrian Peterson. Kamara is kind of going to be that gadget player that they use every once in a while on third down just to mix it up. I don't see him becoming a large part of that offense unless someone gets injured.
Let's put it like this. Drew Brees, how many years do you think he's going to play at a decent level?
Yeah.
And then Alvin Kamara, we don't like Alvin Kamara this year much. So I'm thinking more in dynasty. I mean, is Drew Brees going to stop playing, retire, or stop playing at this high level by the time Alvin Kamara becomes good, by the time Adrian Peterson retires? I mean, I do kind of see that. I think 21's a little low, but I wouldn't have him much higher than 20, though. I do see what you mean. And Drew Brees, he's at the end of his career. He only has a few years left.
I mean, a few years. I mean, I could see Drew playing for 5 more years.
Five.
I mean, it all depends.
5 is a few. A few is 5. A couple is 2. A few is 5. But
to me, a few is 2. A couple is 3. But
No, like a boy
Let's just
girl
get a
couple.
test.
That's two. A couple, like a couple. That's two. That's the def. I had to look this up because honestly, I thought the couple was a lot more than two. I looked it up, and behold, a couple means two. I had to use the internet to find out. A couple means two.
The more you know.
Yeah, more exactly. That's what we're doing now. We stopped doing rankings. Now we're talking about what's acceptable.
The more
socially.
football you know, and it's a football that's flying across the screen.
Okay, we're talking about no topics right now. Let me just go. This is what I have. I have David Njoku question mark written down. So you got Evan Engram, you got Curtis Samuel. Why not Mr. Njoku?
Okay, and who's throwing to him? Is it Cody Kessler? Is it Deshaun Kaiser? If it was Deshaun Kaiser, like guaranteed, and I knew he had the system down well, then I might pick David Njoku. David Njoku is actually just outside my top 10, so he is also ranked very high just because, again, really talented playmaker. It's the Browns. The Browns had a great first round just in general, and I feel like Njoku. Lots of people projected the Browns to possibly take O.J. Howard, and I feel like Njoku is like the 1B to O.J. Howard's 1A. He's just a little bit behind O.J. Howard, but still could produce. He could be a red zone threat too. That man can catch a football.
People are arguing right now with our 5-year thing.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 years is more of a max, more of a high end thing. 5, 6, 7 is more. It's probably more realistic that he could be playing. Drew Brees could be playing less than 5 years. No, I agree with that. But I'm saying 5, yeah, more. If he played 5, I wouldn't be surprised because this is what's happening. Sports science, sports athletes, this changes a lot. You cannot tell me that the way athletes prepare, that what they eat, the way the game is played, so on and blah, 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 is the same as it was 20, 30 years ago. Prime example right here, and this is a very comparable example, Tom Brady. If you close your eye, not close your eye, but if you didn't know how old you just turn on the TV, right, and watch this quarterback play, you'd say, this guy, Tom Brady, whatever, number 12 on the Patriots, is in his prime. He's one of the best, if not the best quarterback right now in the NFL. He's 40 years old. That's all I'm saying. Yes, 5 years. I would maybe Scope thinks 5 years, but I think 5 years is pushing it a little bit. I would not be shocked if Drew Brees played 5 years. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't play on the Saints, but what we're talking about, I
was saying too. I could see it happening, but yeah.
All we're saying is Kamara right now. Scout doesn't like him right now this year. I don't like him right now this year. And by the time, if and when he does get good, Drew Brees may not be good. And that's not really what you want on your dynasty league. So Scout kind of talked me out of this dynasty thing. I like the talent, but let me read some chat comments really quick, Scott. Then I'll let you talk. Drew might play 3 or 4 years. 5 years is a lot in the NFL. Do y'all like Marlon Mack? Keep that one stored, okay, Scott. Marlon Mack. 3 is tough. He's got 2 years max left. Drew Brees. Why not Njoku with poor quarterback? We're talking about a tight end here. Quarterback doesn't have to throw it deep to tight ends. Yeah, safety blanket. Someone put a bunch of chilies on there. I don't know why I like that. Maybe talking about Drew Brees' diet. I don't know. Bunch of chili emojis. I don't think 5 is out of reach. One person agrees with us. Good input on Kamara. Just figured he'd have a unique Bush Sproles type role that would be great for PPR. Yes, but it could be very limited. Yeah. Sproles really only had he had 2 good years and 1 great year on the Saints. It's could be a little bit more of an outlier. It could happen, but you don't want to bank on that, right? You don't want to start I'm going to start Alvin Kamara every week for 2017. You don't want to be that guy. 1 injury can end his career. Someone's saying he was like glass. To be honest, it depends on the playing style. Pocket passers with good O-lines obviously last longer. Dual threats, not so much. Yeah, I totally agree about the sports science. Peyton just fell off the cliff. Peyton Manning is different, guys. He had, my chiropractor gave me a lot of input. He had that fusion with his spine, and that same type of fusion surgery he had, you wouldn't be allowed to fly a plane or a jet in the Air Force because of that, because you're not able to turn your head. That also affects the timing and your senses on the triceps, which is what that's all about throwing power. And come on, anything affected a little bit with the quarterback is gonna. I mean, you're in the NFL; it's very competitive. So you can obviously see the velocity going down, and his timing was affected. So Peyton Manning is different. It's actually quite a miracle that he even came back to play. So that's a little different. We should just appreciate that. So he did fall off a cliff when he started getting too old. Also, I don't know if you guys know about Peyton Manning, but he started not to have feeling in his fingertips. I mean, it started to get really bad for that guy. So that's a little bit of an outlier, and it's quite a miracle that he was able to do it and end his career winning that Super Bowl. But not, old quarterbacks, they could fall off like him, but they could not, because we see this in Tom Brady. And looks like Aaron Rodgers is going to play another 7-10 years too. I mean, that guy looks young as heck.
A decade.
Yeah, he looks young as heck. He's over here from around where Scott is, right? I don't know. You're from that area,
Chico,
right? Scott?
California. Yep.
Some more comments.
I actually somewhat met the guy back in the day when I was but a youngling.
There you go. Scott knows Aaron Rodgers. Tom got 4 more years in him. I agree, man. 3 or 4 years. I agree with that. Yeah. Money.
Meanwhile,
guys.
Ben Roethlisberger is over here like, I might retire this year.
Are you talking about
a lot of injuries over the year?
Live free or RIP? Are you talking about Drew Brees? Live free or RIP? Money, guys. He's due to $24.5 million this year. He's not winning a Super Bowl, so. Are you mean like he's not going to be a Saint? Yeah, I mean that's definitely a possibility. I don't know if he's talking about Breeze though. Who's owed $24.5 million this year? I think he's talking
Breeze
about
isn't the kind of player to value money over winning, though. Breeze is.
He said yes. We're talking about Breeze.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Breeze.
We'll see. We'll see. I give Tom 2 years. I think he's got more than. I think Tom's got 4 years in him. What do you think, Scott?
Probably
4 years.
Honestly, I feel like Drew Brees and Tom Brady have this quiet little competition as to who's going to last longer. They are the 2 grizzled old quarterback vets in this league right now. I mean, I guess you could say Roethlisberger's one too, but he's not as old as the other 2. I feel like Brady. I mean. 4 more years is just as feasible for Brady as it is for Breeze. Just depends on how those O-lines go, how many hits they take. But yeah, I mean, I could see them each going for 4 more years cleanly.
There you have it. I have written down on my notes. I think you like this. Cooper Kupp ? This guy is a lot of talk. A lot of talk throughout all phases. Early when we did mock drafts, throughout the draft. Throughout the combine when he didn't really run too fast. What do you think about Cooper Kupp? Where is he in your rookie rankings?
Definitely below probably. I believe I had him below 30. You know what? I'm just gonna check real quick for you. Cooper Kupp is not only slow but found himself in just a bad situation. 27. I have him ranked 27th overall. D.D. Westbrook is a man that was drafted after him, who I feel like could play so much better than him. He won the Biletnikoff Award, and Cooper Kupp. I mean, Tavon Austin is, I guess, the number 1 receiver in St. Louis.
Tavon Austin.
Yeah.
That guy, our friend Spencer, who writes baseball articles, was like, man, that guy gets thrown around a lot. And after he said that, I started to notice, like, every game, that dude gets lit up and tossed around. It's like a Tavon Austin meme. There's this little guy flying around, like, Tavon Austin.
I mean, just subpar quarterback play. Offensive line has question marks.
Okay, is he at least a safety blanket? At least, like, can he at least be like, hey, this guy's gonna reel in the ball, get me at least 3-4 yards, or be a little bit of a red zone target, or something like that. He's what you
call a possession receiver. Like he might catch some clutch 3rd downs, but he's not going to be burning anyone. He's not going to be breaking any ankles. He's just a poor man's Reggie Nelson. He's a poor man's Jordy Nelson, and Jordy Nelson has some speed. So this is a really poor man's Jordy Nelson.
He's a poor.
And it's not just because he's white.
Poor. It's a poor man's
Yeah.
Jordy Nelson, because I was studying on Jordy Nelson. Like, is this guy the real deal? And that deep ball, man, it's just what we love in fantasy.
Yeah.
It's what the Packers love, and
Jordy has speed. Jordy is fast.
he's got that. He's just, sometimes, and I want to, when I interview wide receivers, I want to ask him this question, because you could have speed and football speed, and it doesn't translate always to the deep threat speed.
Game speed.
And Jordy Nelson has that. He gets the defensive
long
back's
strides.
hips moving, and he's got good chemistry with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He go boom, boom, and he's open 40 yards down the field or in the end zone. It's a different game.
Yeah. He's got long legs too. Those long strides can just create so much separations deceptively quickly.
Let's
and
move
Cooper
on.
Kupp doesn't do that.
Let's move on, because this video's getting crazy with the Jordy Nelson show.
I got you the perfect comparison to Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp noodles. There you go.
What is that? What does that mean?
Cup noodles?
Cup
You know,
of
cup
noodles?
Yeah,
So
Cooper Kupp of noodles.
Cooper Cup of noodles. What is it? What is
Yeah.
it? He's cheap.
Bland and cheap, and he'll do if you're hungry. Yeah.
Something that you used to like in college.
I
don't get it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Way moving on now. Who are some sleepers? I like the first one on your list. I'm looking at your list right now.
So do I.
Joe Williams.
Yeah, Joe Williams. That man, he was actually one of the fastest players at the combine. I feel like I know Carlos Hyde's pretty quick, but I don't think he has that top end speed. It's cliche, but he could be the lightning to Carlos Hyde's thunder. It could work. How do you feel about your offensive line, or your team's offensive line?
They're not. I don't think they're that good. I have a lot of faith in Kyle Shanahan, and I don't have a lot of faith in Carlos Hyde, which makes this guy just incredible. See, right now, one of the biggest reasons he's a sleeper is just because ESPN ranks him too low, unfortunately. So we can see his ADP go up a lot. I mean, remember when I drafted Eifert, like after I drafted, like the second to last pick? I drafted Eifert in 2015. You saw in the Instagram Extras League. It's only because ESPN ranked him super low. I even drafted Vernon Davis before Eifert, because Eifert was ranked that low. So that's why. And we'll see ADPs rise. Not just because ESPN sucks, but we'll see ADPs rise, and we'll see how that battle goes on. Next up, sleeper, you have Jamal Williams, Green Bay running back. Now, answer me this, because we have Ty Montgomery, obviously wide receiver / running back, and there's another rookie. I forget his name. I think the Packers drafted another rookie running back. So is the opportunity going to be there for Jamal Williams, or is this kind of like throwing a dart? Packers, good team. I mean, you really think Jamal Williams has the potential to 50-50 split or be the starting running back there?
I feel like he could eventually be the starting running back there. As successful as Ty Montgomery, as relatively successful as Ty Montgomery was being that lead back, Green Bay doesn't want a wide receiver for a running back. They want a running back playing running back. They wanted Eddie Lacy to be their guy. It didn't work out. They want someone like Eddie Lacy. They want a 3-down back, and I feel like Jamal Williams has the potential to be that 3-down back that they need. As long as he can show up in pass protection, which he should, he has the talent to. He could.
In the chat, they said Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, I believe, is the rookie.
The running back?
Yeah, what do you think about this guy? I don't want to say for sure. I think they drafted Jones one round right after they drafted Williams. I may be mistaken, but what's up with that? It could be some competition there. You know what I'm saying? Like the opportunity, the risk.
I believe Aaron Jones is just a little bit undersized compared to Jamal Williams. I think Jamal Williams is a stout, like 6 foot. I want to say Aaron Jones is a little bit shorter. Even Ty Montgomery is kind of a taller back, I guess. I don't know. Jamal Williams just has that build of a 3-down back. Like he's got the strength, really. He's got the strength that they're looking for to protect Aaron Rodgers. That is kind of what it comes down to. He's shown the most promise with pass protection from his college games, or from his college tape, and I feel like that is a big foot in the door for more playing time in the Green Bay Packers.
Question. Where do you have Perrine ranked?
Samaje Perine. He's a little bit tricky. It's because he's not going to get a whole lot of yardage. His main strength is going to be in goal line work and just touchdowns, pretty much. And as touchdown dependent as he could be, I actually have him ranked fairly high. I have him 14th overall, I believe.
Oh, that's pretty high.
Yeah, and especially from a dynasty's perspective, because Fat Rob Kelly, he caught on last year, but he could really use a good running mate, and that Samaje Perine could be very much that man. Yeah.
Next sleeper on the list, as some people are saying funny stuff in the chat. It's cracking. Thank you everyone for take a quick second. Thank you everyone for joining and chatting, except that one guy who trolled. Everyone else has been freaking awesome. Love you guys, man. Thanks for actually tuning in this late. Did I say Perine again? I said Perine. Samaje Perine. But when I said the other guy says it up, that's my fault. Samaje Perine. Sorry, I said his name like 10 times. Okay, I'm just mad. Samaje Perine. Next up, sleepers. Go tell me about this guy. I don't know about him. Tell me all about Ryan Switzer.
Oh, Ryan Switzer. Imagine Julian Edelman with the agility of Deshaun Jackson. Ryan Switzer, he's a return specialist. He's lightning quick. This is a man that could supplant Cole Beasley as the slot guy in Dallas. He's deceptively quick. Pull up some YouTube videos, watch that game tape, and you will understand what I'm saying. This man running around next to Des Bryant, that could be some dangerous stuff. The only reason he's not ranked super high for me, and he's a sleeper, is because there's some depth there. I mean, he's got to get past Cole Beasley. He's going to have to produce in special teams. He's going to have to show us some return skills. So more
of a dynasty guy for you, right?
Very much a dynasty. Like, I'm really
you thought
high.
This video was going to be 20 minutes long. It's not 20. It's not 20. Okay. Another question. This one's for you, Sco. Do you believe Wayne Gallman could end up taking the starting job from Paul Perkins? I really want to know this answer because I got Perkins kind of as a sleeper.
Wayne Gallman, that's digging bottom of the barrel. That's
so not one of the running backs in this draft class that you're like, this is I'm very interested in this guy.
Yeah, no. That's I don't see him breaking out for some 60-yard touchdown home run every week. No.
There you have it, guys. He's a training camp body. There you have it.
That's a passing team. They're very much going to be a passing team this year.
And this is the last guy on your sleepers. We already kind of talked about D.D. Westbrook, how we like him. His ceiling is very high. He could be as good as Deshaun Jackson. I don't know about this Jaguars team, but I like as a number 2 wide receiver on the Jaguars. This guy's going undrafted in some 12-man leagues. So I really like D.D. Westbrook as one of those, like your very last pick, or someone you can get late in even a 16-man or 14-man. You can get D.D. Westbrook super late, and that's why I like him. Super late.
There's so much depth at receiver. I know you like D.D. Westbrook. My super duper ultra mega deep, buried at the bottom of the Marianas Trench deep sleeper, Josh Malone, wide receiver drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals in, I believe, the 5th or 6th round. And the only reason I'm again pushing a Cincinnati Bengal is because this man is a mere 1/10 of a second slower than John Ross, but has about 5 inches of height on the man. He's taller than John Ross. He's almost as fast. And if anything were to happen to John Ross, this guy could step in out of nowhere. Like, I haven't heard anyone talking about this man. So if you don't hear anyone talk about this man for the rest of your life, you will know why. Because he is buried on Cincinnati's deepest
So
position.
he needs an injury he needs something to happen.
Yeah, and so the only reason he is my super deep sleeper is that if you draft John Ross, this man is basically your handcuff.
But that's only like in a 16-man, right? Because you're not handcuffing John Ross in a 12-man.
I mean, depending on how you draft.
Nobody listen to Scott, okay?
Just kidding.
You're not okay, good. Oh, yeah. You had me for
it.
You freaking had me for it. You're not serious.
No, yeah.
Okay, good. Doing crazy handcuffs is okay in a 16-man. You like there's nobody to draft sometimes.
Yeah,
that's when you
Josh
get
Malone round 5.
in a 20-man league. I'm drafting Gronk and Dwayne Allen, baby. I'm drafting Tom Brady and Jimmy Garoppolo because I got Jimmy Garoppolo ranked as a top 31 quarterback. I swear on my rankings, he's a top 31 quarterback because some of these
Cody Kessler.
it gets pretty bad at 32, 33, 34. I think Garoppolo's going to be great if Brady were to get hurt or something. You can definitely handcuff Brady. Yeah. So there you have it.
Jimmy Brisket, or not Jimmy Brisket.
Last year you were talking about who's the Vikings receiver.
Yeah.
Vikings receiver from Germany. Moritz
Boehringer.
Okay.
Moritz Boehringer.
Okay. Is Josh Malone and Ryan Switzer that bad for
Josh Malone
buried?
Is kind of just as buried. Well, no, that's not really. No, I mean that.
At least he wasn't born overseas. At least.
Yeah, these guys know the game of football. Moritz did not really know the game of football all too well. I mean, he's playing the German league. He's playing for a team called the Unicorns. So, I mean, he was playing what was kind of football.
The third mention of unicorns on this show so far.
Right.
Let's go through the chat, and then we're going to go to the bust. Scott's bust.
I just want to say Malone is not. I mean, Switzer is not anywhere near that deep of a sleeper, though. Switzer could see playing time a lot quicker than a lot of these other sleepers. Really, like Switzer. If Switzer has a good camp and a good preseason, he could find himself in the starting lineup, regardless of Cole Beasley's position or role.
Okay, we have Will World saying free Justin Blackman, Jags, LOL. Do you think Leather Baseball? Do you think the Cardinals will have a comeback? No, I took that question. This was a sleeper 4th round pick at Amara.
Are you sure that's a biased response? Is that a biased response about the Cardinals?
No, I don't think they're that. I think all they have is David Johnson. I mean, they got the
Larry Fitzgerald. Carson Palmer.
We saw Larry Fitzgerald's been playing how many Super Bowl rings does he have? I don't think they're good. I'll tell you right now, my Niners suck. I mean, it is. I love the future though. I mean, I'm very non-biased. Like, I want the Niners to have another high draft pick in 2000.
I want to see John Lynch have success with the Niners. I was really glad that you guys got
future's
such a
bright.
legend as a GM. Like
the future's bright, and I like this question. Do you think Laquan Treadwell will have a better season this year? Short answer, please. Yeah, it's 2 catches.
Would have to. Yeah.
I mean, well, okay. Will he be like halfway decent? That's what the real question is.
I mean, he should. All signs point to yes, but I mean, we're not going to find out to the preseason, really. Really probably won't find out till week 1. Hopefully he shows up more in the preseason than he did last year. Hopefully he just shows up in general. He's got the skill set to succeed. Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen there, they've got some decent receivers. Really, they are missing a guy like Treadwell, that big body receiver, to just round that wide receiver core out. If he plays up to par, he should be a viable option, but I just don't see it happening, really.
I don't know why.
Oh, yeah, short answer.
Laquan Treadwell. it's not worth it in fantasy. If you drafted him in dynasty, I feel sorry for you. I get why you're asking the question. If you drafted him in dynasty, if not, just forget about him. No, don't save you the headache. I cut him last year, and I was a free man. I loved it.
If you're in dynasty, I wouldn't cut him yet.
Scout Texans, is Watson worth quarterback stash in dynasty leagues?
Late round. If he's your backup in the
not the ideal offense, right? You know what I mean? That you got that on top of it. It's not the that type of offense is going to produce these exaggerated numbers like the Saints or the Peyton. It's not that type of offense.
They've got pieces there. They've got decent wide receiver core. They drafted Dante Foreman, who could make that backfield much more well-rounded. They've got a decent offensive line. All the tools are there, but that's a rough spot. I mean, that team just got over Brock Osweiler. I don't know if the Texans nation is going to be so quick to trust any quarterback really anytime soon. And I just see Watson making a lot of rookie mistakes. Like, he threw a lot of interceptions in his college years. So, yeah.
Okay,
late round.
Next question. How does Macklin coming to Ravens affect Woodhead and Mike Wallace touches? It doesn't. Will Kareem Hunt be in the hunt for the starting job with the Chiefs, Scout?
No, I don't think he will. I think
maybe next year, right? Not this year. Not this year, but maybe next year?
No. Spencer Ware solidified that starting job.
Well, I think Kareem Hunt has a chance. Not a lot this year is tough, but I really don't know. Scout says not a chance. Dalvin Cook or Latavius Murray first. I mean, you want to take Dalvin Cook if it's PPR. But what's cool is because a lot of people, this is the second time I got this question on this chat. What's cool about this is Latavius Murray in a standard league, non-PPR, you can get him super late and for a great value. I mean, he's going to suck, but you can get him super late, though. That's a running back. Running backs are always very valuable, very scarce. And we forgot to talk about Marlon Mack really quick. Scott, what do you think about him?
I feel like that's Frank Gore's job too. He could be a nice change of pace back, but I mean, he's going to be fighting for snaps. Really, he's going to be fighting for snaps in the preseason, and that's hoping he makes the team.
What about dynasty? What about dynasty then?
Sure, take a flyer on him. If you like him, it's dynasty.
This year, I drafted Frank Gore last year. I won the league. This year, I probably won't be drafting Frank Gore. I think this is the year where we actually see a decline with Frank Gore.
We've been saying that every single year, and
Who's been saying that?
Absolutely everybody. Like,
I drafted him last year though, and I won. Is what I'm saying. I mean,
did you take him high or did you draft him once he?
I got him like in the 8th round. I got him super late.
Yeah, he fell to you. Yeah, Find me a man that's high on Frank Gore.
I think this is the year I'm not going to draft him, and this guy keeps asking, like he really wants this, or he or she really wants this question answered. Scott, I'll let you take this one. Can Kevin White bounce back? 3rd year.
I mean, injuries can really plague somebody, and if he hasn't caught on now, I mean, if he hasn't caught on yet, I just don't see him catching on anytime soon. I wish the best for him, but I just don't see it happening.
A lot of targets not that they're good targets, but I don't know if he's going to be like that number one.
Cameron Meredith is the number one wide receiver there, and
I'm thinking Cameron Meredith will be number one as well. Kevin White is too risky. Basically, like if he's late, take a flyer. If not, you don't have. There's about 100 wide receivers that you can draft.
It's so deep. I wouldn't worry about Kevin White unless it's like round 14. Yeah.
I got a text, Scott. I think we're hitting the 2-hour mark. It's okay. We got the chat cracking. You guys are on here. We appreciate all the comments. You guys are staying up late. I want to stay up late, but we're gonna end this.
Yeah, it's nighttime now.
Yeah, it's not on the West Coast too. A lot of these people are on the East Coast, believe it or not, and it's like 1 a.m. Really appreciate you guys checking this out. Kevin White bust. It's not really a bust if you don't draft them earlier. If you draft someone in the 14th round or 12th round, it's not really a bust. It's like you expect him to bust. Bust. I just kept saying bust a lot of times. Rookie bust, Scout. Who do you have on your list?
I'm not gonna lie. Dalvin Cook is the biggest warning, biggest just as far as ADP goes. I mean, he's pretty popular, and I see there's too much room for failure there. There's just too much for me. Yep.
It's 149 down here in Uruguay. Wow, someone's in Uruguay. Wow, where is
Welcome,
Uruguay?
Uruguay.
Is that Central America?
That is just across the, I guess technically ocean, from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I should know. I almost went to Uruguay when I visited Argentina.
Awesome,
Buenos
man.
Aires.
Yeah, man, this is woo.
Yeah. So what's up, Uruguay?
Dalvin Cook, I think is a great talent. Just the running back I was really looking for. But I'm gonna defer to Scope with this one. Like I really trust his opinion when I'm not 100% on a guy, and I'm going with him. This year's not looking good with that O line and the competition there. Your next best, this one doesn't make any sense. So you rank this guy a little bit too high for me, and now you have John Ross as a bust. Explain yourself.
And this is bust potential. I mean, he's just the Bengals are so snake bitten. This is almost more of a just because he was drafted by the Bengals, could be a bust. Which, in a way, is, I mean, it's just those injury concerns. Really, I mean, he's a good player. It's just durability from his frame, like he's just not the biggest guy.
Could he get tossed around like Tavon Austin? Probably not as bad, but he has
not as bad. But yeah, he can take some hard hits. I mean, he takes some hard hits. I hope he can take more hard hits because I want to see him have success. But man, to have as many injuries throughout his collegiate career as he did, and to miss as much time as he did. I mean, those are just big red flags for me. And I know he's personally come out and said that, he's, gone past all these injuries. They're behind him. He's tired of hearing about them.
Everybody always says that. So this is what it comes down to, Scope. You have him as a bust, and you have him ranked pretty, I say significantly higher than the expert consensus.
There's risk.
Would you get him would you get him early, or would you avoid him and take him late because he's on your bust list?
It's so deep at wide receiver. All my mock drafts, I don't see too many people taking him before even really the 10th.
I'm always right about these things, and because of this 40 time, because he's a rookie, because he has a big name, his ADP is gonna go up. I'm always right whenever I say this. Look, it June.
Will go up,
I'm telling you, July 30th, early August, his ADPs, especially watch he makes that one play in preseason where you're like, oh my god, this is just incredible,
Yeah.
It makes Deshaun Jackson look slow or something like that. So I think his ADP is gonna go up. Would you draft him? Assuming that happened, would you draft him at that real ADP? Because it seems like you're not going to reach for him. You already at that stuff.
No.
Would you take him at his ADP, or would you maybe try to get him a round or two later than his ADP, which might rise? You said it might be round 10 now, but assuming that goes up a little bit, like round 9
it'll probably go up. It'll probably go up as high as probably like a 7th round.
Yeah.
So I guess really question, would I take him in the 7th round? I mean, if Deshaun Jackson is gone, then yes.
There you have. I like that answer, man. I like that. And of course, to wrap up the bus, we have Cooper Kupp. Do you want to talk about him more? We already talked about him.
I've had enough Cooper Kupp and noodles in my life. I know what Cooper Kupp noodles taste like.
Bro, that name is corny as hell. That is so cool. It's like sarcasm if you want a team name Cooper Kupp. I mean, it's really bad. The cringe is very high with this one. Oh, I know you saying it's a pun makes it worse. The cringe is very worthy. Okay. Let's go through some questions and wrap this up. I mean, it's good. I mean, a lot of I didn't know if anybody would tune in, so I appreciate the chat. It's awesome that there's not hundreds and hundreds of people in the chat because we're trying to get to every single one of the questions. Let's try to go super fast on this. Who to avoid and choose on the Pats roster? See, the thing is with that is that, especially when it comes to running backs, we have no idea. Someone's going to tell you Gillislee's going to get the goal line. James White, Super Bowl. We have no idea. I mean, I like to go James White.
Until they fall to you. That is
count down to when Scout says the name Rex Burkhead. there's also Rex Burkhead there. I
still stand by my belief that Rex could take that starting position at some point. Like, as well-rounded as most of them are, Rex, he's a Bill Belichick kind of player.
When I did a 14-man and 16-man mock, Rex Burkhead was there. I took him at least once in a mock. I mean, you're in a 16-man league, like, you got to take Rex Burkhead.
Hey, everybody.
So the Kevin White that I was kind of being harsh on, that person said it's a dynasty pick, so that makes sense as far as a bust. Like in dynasty, you have to keep Kevin White at least another year. Cook is a bust. Yep. Ross is a bust. He got hurt just running. Okay. Yeah, we kind of covered that. Thoughts on Blunt, LeGarrette Blunt this year? And someone said another person says I'm loving Blunt this year. Someone says Blunt is a joke. Are you serious? Yeah, I think Blunt is overrated, and he's not even rated that high. Like, I'm not trusting this Eagles team. Blunt, what do you think about Blunt?
Everything. I mean, he's definitely going to be RB1 for Philly, but
quote
he's
unquote
never
RB1,
really
bro. He doesn't cast passes, so I mean, it's not like Ezekiel Elliott like RB1. He's going to be like, I mean,
He's never had that great of success as the designated RB1. Like his time in Tampa Bay,
he had 2 good years in his career.
Yeah,
one in Tampa Bay, one in
last
the
year.
Patriots. Yeah,
really,
that's it.
20 touchdowns will do that. Yeah.
Line looks decent. He's going to get goal line. Okay, yeah, we disagree. Yo, Brain, you still work on music? I think you created a mix of something a few months. Yes, I do. I'll leave a link. You can check out my personal YouTube channel, and all the beats you hear on here are from me. Oh, good question. I got a good question. Scope.
Oh.
What? This guy hasn't talked in a while. Maybe he left and he fell asleep and came back. Pettit is back. What about Zay Jones?
Zay Jones. I'm still high on Zay Jones. Let me see where I have him ranked. He's a playmaker just like a lot of these wide receivers. I have him as 13th overall, just behind Jamal Williams and David Njoku outside of the top 10. He could take that number 1 receiving job from Sammy Watkins if Watkins just, has some other injury that somehow manages to pop up and hold him back like it seems to happen every year. Zay Jones has catching ability. I will say it again. Zay Jones has catching ability, natural ability at catching the football. He can high point. He's one of the best high point catchers in this draft. Mike Williams is another one of those guys. I mean, Zay Jones is big bodied enough, but red zone target for sure. I see Zay Jones catching a good amount of touchdowns this year if he can stay healthy. And
I see the Bills signing another wide receiver.
Eric Decker. Look for the Bills to sign Eric Decker. I mean, they just lost out on the Jeremy Maclin deal. So
that'd be an awesome pick for. I mean, I think that would take their team to the next level. You got McCoy, Watkins.
It makes sense too because you're weakening a division opponent too.
It's an awesome signing. Okay, I believe this is a dynasty or a keeper question here. Keep 2: Edelman, Crowder, and Sterling Shepard. Edelman and Crowder, easy for me. Scope.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah.
I mean, Crowder's awesome, and come on, Edelman.
Young. Edelman's not as young, but still awesome. And I mean, Sterling Shepard showed promise last year for sure, and obviously, one of the youngest. But I mean, how are you going to not keep either of the other two? It's just, you're not dropping Edelman. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm typing Blunt was a product of the amazing Patriots, because this guy, our Uruguay friend, brought up a good point. He could be, but you still be counting on the Eagles to get there on a regular basis.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, exactly.
I was thinking that same thing. Yeah, the Patriots. I mean, Tom Brady is why Blunt had so many touchdowns, really,
Yeah.
because everyone's looking for Tom Brady to drop back. So
Blunt is awesome, okay? He's good, but it's more about the coaching, the play calling. Like, they coached him up really good.
The scheme.
Tom Brady getting him there all the time. Like, Patriots were an amazing offense, an amazing team. I think it's proof that they were the best team last year. I mean, just look like what is the third string quarterback's name? Gosh, I can't even remember.
Tony Brisket. That's no.
Stop with this Brisket stuff, bro. But it is something like that. It is whatever. But they crushed the Texans. Come on, you got to tell me that's coaching. They crushed the Texans. Like, it's all about coaching. Like, Blunt has been in the league for what, like a decade? Like, what has he done? I think proof's in the pudding. Scope, anything else? We're about to wrap this up. Anything else you want to talk about when it comes to rookies or dynasty leagues? Any advice you have for these super chat fans out there?
Just at the end of the day, don't forget to draft people you actually like. I mean, you have fun with it. Obviously, heed our advice and don't make outrageous decisions, but don't forget to have fun. Draft people you like.
And on that note, it's Jacoby Brissett. Scope, you almost got the brisket, but man, I'm hungry. I'm about to go get a brisket.
Right? I think I have food on the mind.
Brisket tacos for everybody. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining in. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. We got this this live stream going super late. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Last question. What's your opinion on Blair Walsh? I'll take this off the air. You guys, peace out, guys.